All right, all right. Well, hello. Good evening. Good morning. Just hello, greatness. I pray that you are having a winning Wednesday because it is time for Real Talk, Real Solutions with Dr. Anana. How are you today? So super excited that you have decided to join, to tune in, just to spend a moment of your time to listen in. Listen, lean in because we have some awesome information to share with you. So, how are you doing today? Is it a winning Wednesday for you? If not, it's just about to get even better. So I thank you for tuning in. You know what we do. We always ask you to like, love, share, and comment because this is a conversation on the 4 C's. As you know, myself as the women and youth practitioner, and we focus on the 4 C's: civility, community, creativity, and climate change. And today we are going to make sure we have a discussion and an awesome guest that I cannot wait for you to meet. I can't wait for you to meet him. So I hope you have your pen and pad ready. I hope you are ready to tune in. You ready to type your comments in. Make sure you hit that share button because you just never know what you are in store for, where your next nugget, your next strategy is coming from. And I truly believe that today we are coming with some good stuff. More than good stuff, let's just say some great stuff, right? So listen, I'm excited. I want to just tell you a little bit about the guest that I have before you. He's coming up. He's coming up. He's getting ready. He's in the room. He's in the room. He's waiting. He's warming up just to meet you. Now, this amazing I can say young man. I can say young man. He actually hails out of London, United Kingdom. But originally, he is from Uganda. And I don't know if you had the opportunity to see my previous post. This is what I love even about his story, about his journey. He didn't let poverty become his standard. And that just sunk into me. I mean, it's just so brilliant because we think about a standard and the level that we have for ourselves, for our family. This amazing, incredible man that I'm going to tell you more about. But the thing about him, once I met him, I want to say a little over a year ago, right? He was just exude excellence. Isn't that something when you see someone, I know I love excellence, but when you see someone that they own excellence, this man right here is about excellence and also, of course, greatness. So I had the pleasure, the privilege, and the honor to be awarded and be selected as one of the 2020 to participate in the World Book of Greatness. Here is his book. Here is his book. And listen, I want you to sit back or get on the edge of the seat. I don't know which one, but grab your pen and paper. I want to hear from you, and I want to bring to the stage, bring to the audience. Let me get him here today. Professor Patrick Businge, are you here?
Oh, yes. Thank you very much for that great introduction. It's always a pleasure when great people meet. And I'm very pleased to
Indeed.
be with you this afternoon, I think, where you are, and this night in London.
Yes, exactly. Well, and that's the another thing, knowing and realizing that you are in London right now. So the fact that you even made time to share with Real Talk, Real Solutions this evening, I truly appreciate you and salute you. But I just want to let some of the folks know who you are. And I love this. You said that you use education as your passport. Dr. Patrick, I'm going to say Dr. Professor, you said that I remember you in a part of your biography, you said that the chancellor, when you were graduating, I believe with your PhD,
Yes.
what was the words he said to you?
Go and change the world. Patrick, go and change the world.
And that when you said that, when you heard that, and then I read those words for you, and to see how your life has lined up with just that, that's incredible. I don't know about you, but that was absolutely incredible. So tell us about that chancellor and your experience and even that degree that you earned. Tell us about that.
Well, just let you know, I come from Uganda, but importantly, I didn't even know that I would ever be in the United Kingdom. So, looking at my circumstances, looking at the village I was born in Uganda, and the school I went to, the chances are I was going to die poor. The chances are I was going to die malnourished. The chances are I was going to die of hunger. The chances are I was going to possibly die before 35, because that's the average lifespan in Uganda was at that time. So, what made a difference? What made a difference was education. What made a difference was poverty. Why? Actually, to me, poverty was positive in a way,
Wow.
because if you think about it, had I been born in a rich environment, and looking at some of the people who are rich in our village and our town, at the moment, some of them are worse off than I am. So, in other words, when we're born in positions of privilege, we take it for granted. We think it will always be there. But when we are born in a place of lack, then the lack, the poverty, gave me the motivation to strive for what I wanted. The poverty gave me, acted as fuel for my dreams. Poverty allowed me to find and discover my purpose.
Mm.
So what really happened is that I lived in poverty, the environment, but I did not let poverty live in me.
I love it.
And that's why, because I didn't want poverty to live in me, that's why I had great dreams. Education became the route to achieve those dreams. And fast forward 20 years afterwards, I end up in one of the best universities in the world. Exeter University is in the top 150 universities in the world. And when I was graduating in 2015, the chancellor said, Patrick, go and change the world. But all along, I didn't know how to change the world. I had gone through the education system and 7 university degrees, but it hadn't made any change in the world. But the real change started when I started looking at myself. What does that mean? Because when you go to schools, our children, what are they learning in school? They are learning about other things. They are learning about the other. They are learning about the systems. They are learning about political ideologies and philosophies. They go to secondary, they go to university. They are learning about science, and they're learning about the formation of mountains and rivers and the planets and so on. Nowhere in the education system they give us the opportunity to learn about us. So most of the time we bypass ourselves. We pass by who we are and then focus on the other. The moment I heard those words resonate in me, in my ears, Patrick, go and change the world. Say, how am I going to do this? And they turned to myself, because I had studied everything in a way. PhD is the highest degree. There's nothing more after that.
Right.
So I said, no, I think it's studying about me.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
It made a difference.
You know, I love that, because you know, like we said in the beginning, we didn't know, you know, where our conversation would go. And I know, even for myself in the program with Blessed Girls, the one thing we do first and foremost is we deal with their identity.
Yes.
Right? Because if you don't know who you are, right, whose you are, what your purpose is, what are we doing? You know, so that's one of the first things we deal with: identity, getting the girls to understand I am, the power in positive affirmations, and taking the time to identify who they are, who they want
Mhm.
to be, not what society says, even what your parents may want for you, but really who you are. Your true identity is so important. So that's amazing that, even some of our philosophies are the same. And even for you, and I know for me as well, I was, working in corporate America, making, what we say good money, but I really didn't know who I was. I really wasn't operating in my own purpose. And that until I really embraced my true identity, right, that's when I began to walk and live out in my purpose. And it sounds like you're saying the same thing.
Yes, but as well, it's very important that people have dreams. That what do you really aspire to be? Because you see people finishing college, you see people finishing university, they even go to university, but they don't know even what they want to become in life. They finish university, they don't know what they want to do with their lives.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very big problem,
Mm-hmm.
because if when you're going for shopping, sometimes you make a list of what you're going to shop.
Right.
You plan, you put in your sat nav. Or if you're driving, you put in a sat nav, I'm going to this place, you put in the coordinates and then go.
Yeah, yeah,
So you
yeah.
plan your journey in advance. But we are cruising through life
Mm-hmm.
with no journey plan.
Mm.
We don't know where we're heading to. We're just going. We're just going. So one
Mm-hmm.
important thing happened in my life earlier on in my primary, and that was war. There was war which broke out in Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like what Corona is doing to us at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
led to the closure of the schools in our environment, and there was no school anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
so I stayed home out of education for 1 year. But what that year gave me was what I was missing. That year allowed me to think of a better life without war. That allowed me
Wow.
the time to dream.
Yes.
So what am I going to do after the war is over?
Yeah.
What do I want to come after the war is over? How am I going to manage and fund my education and so on?
Mm-hmm.
So these moments of crisis should allow us to find out our greatest us, or the greatness in us.
Mm.
Like during this coronavirus, I've
Mm-hmm.
written 3 books.
Wait, 3 books?
Written 3 books and published 3 books. Yes, during this corona 3 months or 4 months now, of
Wow.
coronavirus. So had it not been,
Yeah.
then I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at
Yeah.
the same time, you have people have spent this time post play watching their favorite TV program,
Yeah.
cycling all the old movies.
Yes.
That in a way they're like sleeping through a revolution. There's a
Whoa,
difference.
wait. Stop. Sleeping. You watching that? Y'all watching? You listening? He said people are sleeping through a revolution. It's time to wake up. Listen, I spent this some time. Y'all sleep. It's time to wake up. I'm so excited about that. You really touched on something, and I know you're moving forward, but I want to go back. You're saying that you were actually living in a war time, right?
Yeah,
Like a war. It was a war going on in your country, correct?
yes,
And so school shut down,
yeah.
right? Which is similar to where we are right now. The schools are down. The kids are not going to school right now. But you took that time to do what?
To dream big.
Dream
Took
big.
the time to dream,
Yeah.
because I could have took the time to despair.
Yeah.
Could have taken the time to give up.
Yeah.
I could have taken the time to join the military or join the army and go into the streets and start killing other people, like other people they are doing a lot, or stealing from the shops,
Mm-hmm,
or
mm-hmm.
from the villages, as we are
Right.
seeing at the moment in the streets in some of these world cities at the moment with the demonstration going on.
Right.
People protesting, which
Yes.
are peaceful protests, but some people are taking the time to steal. And actually, I was reading an article from Forbes saying people stole from Apple, they're being tracked because iPhones, whatever they stole from Apple, they all located
Right.
geographically.
Right, right, right,
So there
right.
you go. You're stealing something which is even putting you in trouble, rather, you see. So there are lots of options. So some people decide to go through the crisis,
Right.
they go through it,
Mhm.
but there are those people who make a conscious decision
Mm.
to grow
Yeah.
through,
Yes.
to grow through the revolution, to grow through the crisis.
Yes.
And that is what we are doing. That's what we're going through now.
That's it.
That I'm not just going through the coronavirus moments,
Yes. Yes.
crisis, or
Yeah.
pandemic, but I'm growing through
Mhm.
this pandemic, as we'll be talking later in terms of parenthood.
Yeah.
For the coronavirus, I had no clue what my children were learning.
Mm.
I didn't have the time, I was too busy.
Right.
But now we've spent 3 months with them day by day,
Mhm.
helping them learn, knowing what they learn, knowing how they learn, knowing how they do their additions. So that's been a great blessing to me, you
Yeah.
see. So the
That's good.
moments that we need to use and grow through, the moments that we need to use to wake up in life, than continue sleeping through the revolution. Because by the time this ends,
Right.
there'll be a new way of life,
Yes.
we have to create a
Yes.
new normal after coronavirus.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But if we don't think through the process, we
Yes.
don't think and grow through what we're going through,
Yes.
then we will miss the goodness or the opportunities that have been given
Yeah.
in this moment.
Professor Businge, you know, you're real smooth with it. But let me tell you something. You dropped some nuggets right there. You said, listen, Mike, listen, that's Mr. Mike Freeland. He says, listen, you make the choice to grow through this crisis, grow through this pandemic, right? Not just go through it, but it's a time to grow through it. That is really incredible. And those that are watching, I mean, I know we did a little intro, but I want to let you know that Professor Patrick Businge is actually the founder of the Greatness University, which is the world's first and only institute dedicated to greatness. So understand that we are talking to the right man today when we are talking about tapping into your greatness, growing and not just going through it. He has done the work. He has done the research. Isn't that right? I want you to definitely talk about that. I mean, he has world renowned research. He's written over a dozen books and articles on greatness. So understand, he knows what he's talking about. He real mellow, y'all. You know, I can get rough, right? But he's smooth with it. But understand that this professor right here, he knows what he's talking about. He studied this aspect. So I hope you guys are really ready to learn and listen to exactly what he is sharing with us tonight. Now, the thing about him is he is also a father and a husband. And you know, this month we are focusing on fatherhood. We are focusing on the fathers in our homes, the fathers, the people that have fathered us. So, with that in mind, you know, Professor, I want you to speak to me in regards to fatherhood. Speak, you know, again, we are going through a crisis, a revolution for us in the US. We have a pandemic inside of a pandemic. We are dealing with corona, but we are dealing with a time where racial injustice and crimes is just at an all-time high. So I want you just to speak to the audience a bit about fatherhood, the impact of a father, maybe even about your own experience. But let's talk a bit about fatherhood today as we focus on that with Real Talk, Real Solutions.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Actually, one of the things as you're talking is what most people think about is legacy.
Mm.
That most of us, most people spend time working hard and providing for their families, working hard, so paying off the mortgage, working hard, buying different assets,
Mm-hmm.
and possibly investing for their children so that when they are gone, then their children can have a better start in life.
Mm-hmm.
But me as a father, yes, that might be important, but I think the most important thing is what my legacy will not be what I leave to my children,
Mm-hmm.
but what I leave in them.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, what do I leave in my children, even when I'm not gone, even what they've created and achieved as assets
Mm-hmm.
are stolen or destroyed during a crisis or war or whichever,
Mm-hmm.
what is still left in them?
That's good.
And that's exactly what my parents gave me. My father gave me education.
Mm-hmm.
My father developed my mind,
Mm-hmm.
and my mother developed my heart.
Mm-hmm.
So, how did that happen? So, what are the kind of skills am I giving my children? What are kind of the mindset I'm giving my children? What kind of dreams am I helping them as a father have as they grow?
Mm-hmm.
Because as you know, without a vision, the people perish. So,
That's right.
what vision am I giving those children?
Yeah.
Is it the vision of a father who spends most of his time in front of a TV
Mm-hmm.
with a can of beer or a glass of wine from morning to evening because coronavirus crisis or pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it the father who is sitting with them, helping them do their work,
Mm-hmm.
helping them dream about what they want in life, and slowly by slowly helping them achieve what they dream?
Yeah.
So the surprising thing is that in my family, we're all authors.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because in a way, greatness leaves clues.
Yes.
So whatever we're doing, the children are watching, and they're doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
So sometimes you may not have to tell them, do this, do this, do this. But as I look at you as a role model,
Yeah.
as a father or mother or father figure, they will copy what you're doing for them, or sort of what you're doing for yourself, but as well they will learn in the process and say, actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do like my daddy. I want as well to have this. I want to write a book as well. I want to, so there is, and that's the legacy I'm talking about, not just leaving them things, but leaving them the knowledge, leaving them the skills that without me, they can't still live a great life.
Wow.
Yes.
I, I'm just writing. I'm sorry, sir.
So the legacy is not what we leave to our children, but what we leave in them. And
That's
I think that's my focus at the moment.
I love that. So it's not just what we leave for them, because again, we typically think of material things, right? The clothing, the home, the cars, the savings, right? The investments, and not like we don't need that, but it's so much more important is what we leave in them and how they
Mhm.
can really, develop, and again, dealing with self, their
Mhm.
identity, knowing who they are. Now you slip that in there because you do have two children, but you're saying your entire family are authors. So that means
Ye-
that your children are authors. Isn't that right? Just make
Yes,
sure
they
everybody
are.
understands that, right? So you raise authors. They learn, they follow, as you said, success leaves clues. And I
Yeah.
think you said footprints too. One of your quotes, I believe, is
Greatness,
that,
greatness,
right?
greatness leaves footprints, and they follow in the footprints. Even when you don't tell them, they just follow.
Yes. That's
Actually, I think is in Africa, we have a saying like father, like son, or like mother, like daughter, something
hmm
like that. So they copy what's happening.
yeah, yeah. Now
But
that's good.
someone might be watching now, say, but I'm a single parent.
hmm
I don't have, I'm living alone, whether as a father
Right.
or as a mother. So what about the other thing? There's still role models in the community
Yeah.
who can fill that gap.
Yeah.
Leave alone the role models in the community, there are role models in your library.
hmm
There are people, men and women who have written great books. There are men and women who have left us a lot of knowledge in what they've written.
Right.
And then you can't say because they don't have a husband, because they don't have a wife, therefore my children are losing out. But what or where are you pointing them
Right.
to realize their dreams? Where are you directing them to get that support? It could be through a mentorship group. It could be through the community,
Yeah.
some of the community resources you have, or community center. It could be in the school,
Yeah.
the support they have. There is maybe that teacher
Yeah.
they love most, and they're copying exactly what that teacher does because that teacher for them is a father figure,
Yeah.
or that teacher for them is a mother figure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really as a parent looking at what is happening to that child and trying to say, yes, this is the kind of role model you could be, and then follow your dream, follow the footprints of that person. Because
Right.
some people think that actually one of the people I say when I published one of my books is called the Beatitudes,
Mm-hmm.
Beatitudes of Greatness. One of the person read that book and asked me, actually, Patrick, you are very lucky in life. And that's why you've achieved what I said. There's no luck here.
No luck here.
You don't need luck here. If
Yeah.
you think everyone who's successful in what they do, they're lucky, then you're mistaken.
Yeah.
Because like you can't, I've just written 3 books and you can't say, Patrick, you're lucky. All you need is a pen
Come on.
and paper,
Come on. Come on.
write a book. That's all you need.
Put
So
the
you can
pen to
say,
the
Patrick,
paper.
you're lucky. The pen costs less than one
Right.
dollar.
Right. That's
So
good.
it comes to the mindset, it comes to the dreams, it comes to what you really want to achieve in life.
Yeah.
And
That,
why
that's
you want to
good.
achieve that.
That's really really good because I was thinking about that also, you know, those that may not have that father figure. If you didn't have a father pour into you or give you that legacy, or if you had that father like that, you know, didn't have that either and it's just duplicating that, you know, if that's all they saw is, you know, the father sitting drinking the beer or doing what have you, right? How do you move beyond that? And I know even for me at some point in my life I was a single mother, so my oldest son, we, you know, I raised him of course with the help of my mother, but there was times when I had to be very intentional even as the mother to make sure that he was in the environment, right, where he could see greatness, where he could see men being great, you know, and see and receive that fatherhood and just greatness, right, to follow those clues, to see those footprints of greatness, and then, you know, really move in that path, in that direction. So I personally can truly relate to that. And I was thinking the same thing. There might be, you know, women and men that, you know, just really didn't have that example. They didn't have someone actually leave that legacy in them, right? So where did they go and what did they do, you know, to build that like a new path to greatness, you know, that they could do that
Exactly.
as well.
Because you have to think about if you have to think about who is whispering into the ears of your children. If they are not hearing your voice, if they are not hearing your voice of greatness, they are not hearing your voice of success, they are not hearing your voice of empowerment, they are going to hear another voice. But that could be the wrong voice.
Yeah.
That could be the voice that is going to lead them to, instead of protesting, they end up into a riot or rioting and breaking into those shops and stealing a phone. So who is whispering in their ears? Are they the gangs or is it you?
Yeah.
So we have to be intentional, but at the same time strategic at the different stages of the development of that child.
Right. That's good.
What we do is going to have positive impact on them. Like at the moment, what we do, whatever we do, our children follow us. So if we're having an event, they will follow us to the event. They'll have a small role, maybe giving out the leaflets or the books or kind of that they're involved into the family affair rather than being left at home and we're going alone to do our own thing.
Right.
So they feel part. So how do you involve your children in your dream?
Yeah.
Or do you involve yourself in creating their dream?
Yeah. No, that's good.
Sometimes it needs sacrifice.
A lot of times it needs sacrifice.
Yes. Because if
What
you're,
did not? It's
for example,
sacrifices
the
involved.
footballer, you still have to go out and sit in that cold stadium and watch them train.
Oh yes, you know about that. You know about that, Professor. With the blankets and drinking hot chocolate and the sacrifice that we do to be there and to support. Okay, you know about that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And that's what, like I said, just with the focus on fatherhood this month, with real talk, real solutions. And you know what, again, in this day and time, in this climate, the importance of fathers, the importance of men, raising up for such a time as this. Like, we need those voices, right? We need those leaders right now to help to influence, right? And to speak that positivity and help them to see the greatness, their identity. Is still all ties back in to their identity and the power in a father seeing the greatness in you. Like, because sometimes you can't see it for yourself, but having someone, as you said, even a mentor or someone that can see the greatness in you, I think it's incredible. So, one last question on fatherhood. Did you have anyone act as a father? Or, I mean, of course, your father left that legacy, but have you had any other relationships with men that, became like a father figure for you, or that have helped you and nurtured you in a father way? Did anyone that you would like to even, share today, or any tips or anything that you gained from those relationships?
Oh, yes, I do. First of all, I have one of my uncles. He is one of the most successful in our extended family.
Mm.
And whenever I thought of success, then that was my model of
Okay.
success,
That's good. That's good. Okay.
my role model of success. Because I think it's very important that you can visualize what you want in life.
Mhm.
Like, for example, for writing any of my books, I have to create the book cover.
Mhm.
Then I can say it accomplished, and
Yeah.
then work backwards, start writing it and
Yeah.
putting it to practice. So same here. In terms of my success, I had, for example, my uncle was one of the role models. Said, I want to be like him. What? Because he has achieved this, I've achieved this, he has achieved this. Therefore,
Yeah.
I'm going to create the same path. And looking at from where he came from, even his start was worse than mine. So I said, if he can achieve that,
Right. Right.
then
Right.
why not me?
Yeah.
Some people say, oh, he's lucky, but there's nothing. That's what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
Don't don't use luck as an excuse
Mhm.
not to achieve your dreams. There
Yeah.
is need to work hard.
Yeah.
There is the need for commitment.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's
That's
need
good.
for self-belief
Yeah.
that I can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
What
I think that's good,
happens? Yeah. What
because
normally
people.
happens are the people around you might not believe in your dream
Uh-huh.
in your community,
Right.
but it's only those people from far who, yeah, will believe in you.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
there might be lots of people discouraging you and trying to. Actually, that reminds me of Professor Gordon Bradshaw, who says the level you learn is the level you live on.
Mm.
So the level you learn is the level you live on. So if those people can't go with you on your journey, then you have to leave them where they are and then move on. Because the more you stay around, the more you're going to be demotivated and
Mm-hmm.
not being able to achieve what you want.
Yeah.
Of course, it will come with criticism, it will come with the falling out of each other's path and
Right. Right.
friendships.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
if your greatness is calling you, then you have to follow it,
Mhm.
knowing that you're following the right path
Mhm.
to achieving your
That's
dreams.
good. That's really really good, because I mean, there's a lot in what you talked about. Because again, having that model, having that role model is key, right? Because a lot of times they say you can't really see it until you see it, right? Not necessarily, I mean, of course you can have a vision for your life, but the same way, if, once you see a nice car, you see a nice house, or you see someone graduate from college or high school, but if you never saw it before, then it's hard for you to see it. So having
Mhm.
a role model is really key, and especially someone that can be, a father figure. So I love that model for success. And then you dropped another nugget on them, because you sneaky with it. I see you, Professor. So you gave him a nugget about writing a book, right? Because there's a lot of people I'm sure watching that, want to write a book, right? And been talking about writing a book for years, if you will. But you gave a great tip because now you've written well over a dozen books or more, and now it's and counting, because as long as we stay in this crisis you might write another 10 books. But this is something that you do, right? And so you're saying that sometimes you can start with the cover. Is that right? Can you just let's just give them a tip. They're getting this for free today. So
All right.
talk about this authorship, and for those that are first time authors or really been, mulling this over, didn't know where to start. Just tell us a little bit more about that, because you snuck that in on us.
All right. So let's say you want to go to New York and you don't know where New York is. You don't know how it looks like. You don't know how long it's going to take you there. So
Right.
how long it's going to take you to get there? You don't know which bus you're going to take, or train, or flight. How will you get there? So I have the vision of New York. This is actually even my choice of New York is because it's the place I would like to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to say how New York looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, I'll ask my cover creator, could you create me a book
Image.
cover,
Mm-hmm.
the image or model of how the greatness code is going to look like?
Mm-hmm.
So once I've gotten that image, then I have to think about how am I going to make that image a reality?
Wow.
Yes, I want to go there. How do I get there?
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take me? So how long is it going to take me to write this book? You set yourself a goal. Because one of the things I've seen people, and they've had people saying, oh, it's taken me 10 years to write my book and I haven't finished yet.
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, when you started in the first place, did you plan that you're going to take 10 years to write it?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly not. So
Right.
your book writing process was not time related. There was no time attached to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you say I'm going to write it in 60 days, then it's clear. I'm going to go to New York and I want to be there within 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's going to determine the choice of the mode of transport you take,
Mm-hmm. That's good.
depending where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's good.
But
That,
as
that's
well,
that's
yes.
good.
But as well, another analogy I could use is because some people write and write and they find themselves repeating themselves the same thing over and over again. Think about when you're building a house. You need a house plan. Okay, my house is going to have 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
2 receptions,
Mm-hmm.
2 balconies, and
Mm-hmm.
so on. So as
Yes.
the book, you have to think about, okay, my book is going to be 5 chapters or
Right.
7 chapters.
Right. Right.
Each chapter is going to have 3 subchapters. It's going to have an introduction. So in other words, you plan it in advance. Once you have that plan, then you go for it.
Gotcha.
But just writing for the sake of writing, then you end up getting lost. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you're walking, you're going somewhere, but you don't know how really to
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
So there's a system.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm able to do 3 books, almost one every month, because I have a system which allows me to. Yeah.
That's good. And I hope they're getting it. Look, as they say, I hope they're getting what you're putting down, right? Because you really are dropping a lot of nuggets and just real time wisdom, right? Because this is what you are doing. You're not talking about what you're going to do. You're not going to talk about what you wish you've done and accomplished. This is what you have done and what you currently are doing. So there's so much truth in that. So I really, really appreciate you in that. And then I hope that the folks that are listening, especially because I know I meet folks all the time. I really want to write my book. Okay. What's stopping you? But I don't want to go down that path. You've given them quite enough ammunition
Yes.
to move forward. So all those authors out there that's been sitting on the fence, it's time to move forward and follow the footsteps of greatness and get that book done. Start with that cover, right?
That's
Start
what,
with how many chapters you want, right?
that's what we should be doing with our children as well. When you think about those story time, the children know how to tell a story better than us.
Yeah.
So when they're telling their story, what are you doing with their story?
Yeah.
Are you encouraging them to write it down?
Right.
Are you recording it so that they can listen it back and then see how they can? Okay, now then, what did the dinosaur? My daughter has just written the dinosaur in love. Dinosaur was in love, a dinosaur in love.
Uh-huh.
So think about what is the dinosaur doing? What is who is the dinosaur? What is the dinosaur meeting? Where is it sitting? Where is it walking? So trying to make it so visual for them
Mm-hmm.
and obvious, so that. But as well, think about writing a book which is multi-sensory. What does that mean? Is that when the reader is reading or listening to a book, it can appeal to all the senses.
Mm-hmm.
So what are they seeing? What are they hearing? What are they touching? What are they smelling? How are they feeling as they read?
You talking right? You deep on him, but I'm getting it. I hope you guys. He is giving some awesome information. Multi-sensory, right? So when you're writing, you want to appeal to all the five senses. Might be more than that at this point.
Maybe the sixth, actually, even the
Thank
sixth.
you, thank you, thank you, Professor. You
The
heard me. I said, is it
spiritual
five,
sense.
six? How many senses are? But you want to make sure that you are appealing to all of the senses, even when you write. And this is what you're even teaching your children. That is incredible. This is some good stuff, guys. You guys want to write? You starting? You need to pick back up that book. Let's get the cover going. This is good. Y'all didn't even know y'all was goodness. But the professor is here and he's giving it out today. So I thank you, sir. So now let's move on because we got you see the time is going, right? You see how it works? And we right, we just get warmed up. so so here's the thing. You have done so much research on greatness. Kings and right all around the world. Mr. Les Brown, the number one motivational speaker in the world. I mean, you have met so many great people. You have studied them. You have done the research. Now, I hate to do this to you, but I want you to pick maybe just give me the top three of your research. The people when we talk about greatness, who comes to mind, right? And then we're about the 4 C's, right? So we're civility, community, creativity, and climate change. And can you tell me, with whichever of the three that come to mind, what sticks out about? Because I'm sure anyone of greatness has definitely touched on civility, community. They've served, they tapped into their creativity, right? So can you tell us about your top three, and then tell me what really sticks out of the 4 C's that you see in alignment with some of those great people that you've researched? Bring it together for me.
Thank you very much. As you said, you had to you're asking this question because kind of favors some and leaves out others.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'll talk about one, and then I'll think about the other ones. I know already what I want, but I haven't made them physically, but they've influenced me in changing my life. So the first one, when that professor, when that chancellor at the University of Exeter told me, Patrick, go and change the world, I didn't know what or how to do it. I didn't know what to do. But one of the people that helped me turn to myself was the great Les Brown, the great motivational speaker, Les Brown. How did he do it? So I made a journey to Fort Lauderdale in Florida near Miami, and we had one of his conferences. But as we sat through that training or conference, I would see whenever I would speak, I would see people in tears, and people for tears of joy, actually, not just tears of sadness. But important, one of the key things said, you have greatness within you. And that was the beginning of Greatness University.
Wow.
So, because before I had never thought of the concept of greatness,
Mm.
Never thought about the concept of greatness within me
Mm.
and say, actually, this is what he's saying. Okay, there's greatness within me.
Mhm.
And actually, if I have to change the world, then I have to discover this. What is it? So I did my first book in 2018, 7 Steps to Greatness.
Mm.
And there, that's where I chart my journey and how I discovered my greatness.
Wow.
But at the same time, how I help others discover, develop, deliver their greatness.
Mhm. Mhm.
So Les Brown is very influential. If you keep listening to him and listening to him over and over and over and over and over again,
Mhm.
your
Yeah.
life will be changed.
Yes. Yes.
Your life will be changed. So that is the ability of this community here.
Yeah.
You can't be great by yourself.
Oh, that's good.
You need
Okay.
others. And that's why I and my wife, we took that flight to Fort Lauderdale in Florida to experience the community. Had not the community been in that environment,
Mm.
been in that atmosphere,
Yeah.
seeing the overflow of greatness in different individuals,
Right.
the
Right.
transformation wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So the community is very important. But as well, the message he gives is transformative, not
Mhm.
just the individual, but the community, because it creates positive impact
Mhm.
and influence in those people.
Yeah.
Again, it links with civility,
Yeah.
because it's within what we do, the work we do, the communities that we impact, the people we talk to,
Mhm.
that they're seeing how are we living our lives,
Mhm.
how our lives are civil,
Yeah.
how are we being role models to those people,
Yeah.
and so on.
Yeah.
So that is one of them.
Okay.
Another important person, which I didn't have a chance to meet, uh, but it changed my life and continues to change, is Dr. Miles Monroe.
Mm. Yeah.
Because if you look at his teachings,
Yeah.
there is a system there. It's
Yes.
not written, but I've discovered his system and it has helped me to do what I do.
Mhm.
Yes, you can just listen to his messages,
Yeah.
but his messages might not transform you if you don't understand why he's saying what he's saying and how he's saying it
Mhm.
and the system he's using.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of creativity. He can take one word from the Bible and transform it or give it completely new meaning in the
Yeah.
context of, and you find that speaking to you at that moment in time. So there's creativity in his message, how he
Wow.
creatively create leaders
Yeah.
to impact communities and transform lives.
Mm.
Yes, he's gone, but he's still with us. And that's the legacy I'm talking about. He is there every day. We are
Yes.
listening to his tapes, we are reading his books, and it's transforming our lives even when he's not there.
Yes. Yeah, that's you you
Um,
you you hit it nail on the head with Dr. Miles Monroe. And even when you talk about the system and his creativity, his ability to take you on a journey, and to see yourself there. If he's talking about an elephant, a lion, whatever it is, even the multi-sensory, his ability to speak and write in that regard is true. It's true.
yes,
And I like how you tied even the civility, even with and community with Mr. Les Brown, because even in the beginning, when we talked about legacy and knowing who you are, that's a part of it, right? Because they see and they watch kids learn civility,
yes,
right? And uncivility and incivility. They learn that in their ability, in their community, in their home, right? So civility is either is taught, right, one way or the other. You're learning how to treat people, and it really starts with what's going on in your home, and of course, what's going on in your community. So I like that. That's good.
yes. And the third one, you know what? One of the things that Dr. Miles said is if you want to be great, you have to create, to live people who are going to be greater than you. You have to train people who are going to be greater than you. You need to leave successors who are going to carry on your legacy and be greater than you. So I'm privileged as well to have met Dr. Clyde Rivers. He was mentored by Miles himself. He is a great man in terms of civility. He is a
Yes.
great man in terms of climate change, creativity, community, and the way kind of revelations he gets and how those revelations transform people's lives. I
Yes.
can take the
Yeah.
message and transform it, how he is the message of
Mhm.
civility. He
Indeed.
is the message of greatness
Yes.
in our community.
Yeah. Well, we know that. I know Sir Clyde Rivers was on here earlier. So we just definitely giving him love and appreciation tonight for I Change Nations and really being the leader and the champion for civility. And he has started us all on this journey, and this opportunity to even connect because that's how we met, of course, through Dr. Rivers. So shouts out to you, Dr. Rivers. And thank you, of course, for being the champion and leading the way in regards to civility for us all to follow. So that's awesome, awesome, awesome. So you guys got your three. He did give us three, y'all. He snuck them in there. We got them all. So we have Mr. Les Brown, Dr. Miles Monroe, and none other than Dr. Sir Clyde Rivers. Incredible, incredible, incredible. So that's good. That's good. So I know that I had the honor and the privilege to participate in this incredible book, right? And the Greatness University. I hope the folks can see. I got to move it around. I'll move myself out of it. Lastly, before we leave, I want you to touch on this because now you're already on to the next group of amazing leaders and greatness. Let's talk a bit about this. I mean, I had the privilege. When was it now? Is it January?
January, yes.
January,
January
and then you
25th.
have it in August coming up, right?
Yes,
So just
25th.
talk about even just the idea and the compilation of bringing greatness together, recognizing greatness, and then highlighting them in a book and telling their story. I know for me, it was an incredible opportunity experience to be in a room. First of all, to be at the Luton who I hope I'm saying it right
Yes,
in the United Kingdom was incredible, impeccable, just a level of excellence. But then to be in a room filled with greatness, world leaders from every corner of the globe, right? That have a calling, a purpose, and an identity, and now have been identified as world greatness 2020. And now we're 2021. Tell me about this. Like, let's take at least 2 or 3 minutes to please talk about this compilation, how this came about. Tell them about World Greatness University.
thank you so much. So, Greatness University, what we do is we help people. It's really come back to where it started.
Mm-hmm.
Discover their greatness, develop their greatness, deliver their greatness,
That's good.
and celebrate their greatness. So, the event you're talking about, January World Greatness Awards, the event you're talking about in August 15th, 2020, this year in London, is about celebrating greatness. Because think about it, how many of us celebrate our greatness? How many of us celebrate other people's greatness? So even as appreciate, being kind is a form of greatness.
Mm.
You have a gift of singing. Your voice is greatness in itself, or talking, or speaking. So we created the Greatness Awards to honor people who have lived their greatness. These are the world civility humanitarians. These are the people who change other people's lives without expectancy. Because often, say, okay, Patrick, can you do this for me? Okay, say, I'll charge you $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
But we think about these are the people who transform other people's lives without a transactional
Uh-huh. Yeah.
attachment.
Yes.
So these are the kind of people we celebrate at greatness. So the World Book of Greatness
Mhm.
is the first ever book to document the world's greatest.
Yeah.
So in there, we have the legends of greatness. In there, we have the icons of greatness. In there, we have the voices of greatness. In there, we have the leading lights. I'm sure everyone listening tonight, they know this afternoon. They know in their community, when I say the word leading light, you can see that leading light in your community.
Yeah.
You can see how civil they are. You can see how creative they are. You can see what they're doing to preserve the planet we are living in.
Yes.
So that's the kind of people we're looking for to honor and celebrate their greatness.
Awesome.
So we receive nominations from all over the world, and most of the information is on worldgreatnessawards.com on how to join us, on how to participate in our events, worldgreatnessawards.com. And our vision, actually, yes, that's a vision. The World Book of Greatness is a Guinness Book of Records for Greatness.
Yes.
Yes.
Incredible.
And attached to that, we have the World Day of Greatness,
Mhm.
15th of August, where we will be celebrating greatness in different parts of the world and taking greatness around the world.
Yes.
This year might be Uganda, next year could be somewhere else. It's been moving around. Take greatness, is world greatness.
World
So
greatness.
we have lots of things in store for us, and we are happy to work with anyone who is ready to work with us and who see the vision,
Yeah.
or we see similar vision, and can work together towards
Powerful.
greatness.
Powerful, powerful, powerful. This is absolutely incredible. And as we were even talking about, the creative greatness, the icons, just the various from people from Uganda, from Kenya, from Sweden, from Sudan. I mean, this is India. Just to bring people together and recognize their greatness is so powerful. And then it's so like it's what greatness does, and you are greatness. And your ability to discover, develop, deliver, and celebrate greatness only adds to who you are as a world leader, as a professor, and as a true champion, for civility as we continue to impact the world. So I want to just personally just thank you so much, because we went back and forth about the time of my show being in the evening, but you certainly you committed to being here with me tonight, which is for you is almost midnight, and I know you work hard and you have a lot to do and a lot to accomplish, and of course raising your children and being an awesome husband. Shouts out to your wife, Dr. Businge, as well. So I just want to just let you know that I appreciate you. I thank you, for your leadership, for your candor, for your knowledge, and just your willingness, for your yes. For the time when that the chancellor told you to go change the world, and you said, "Yeah, I think I just might do that."
Oh, thanks so much for the opportunity, and it's been a great pleasure and privilege to talk to your audience. But there's one thing I haven't talked about, which I think is important for greatness.
Please.
So, one other person that changed my life, which you told me three, but this one I think I have to mention her before you go.
Okay.
Her. So, this is Mother Teresa.
Okay.
So, if you look at Mother Teresa, some of you might not know, she was, if I'm not mistaken, Albanian, and ended up in India, working the city streets, in the streets of Calcutta, and helping the poor
Right.
and nursing them. And all this was selfless service.
Mm.
I think that's a very one they've discovered is a very important component of being great. The road to greatness is selfless service. Why do I say that? I've already hinted on it that, for example, to get into the World Book of Greatness, there should be an aspect of doing things for others without payment, without expectation. That's his selfless service.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned from Mother Teresa. She gave her life for others. And there's no greater love than that.
Indeed.
And one of the quotes that has really changed my life from her is that she says, "My life is a pencil that I write a new page, that I use to write a new page each day
Yeah.
of my life." So each day with our lives we are writing,
Yes.
we're using our life as a pencil,
Yeah.
right somewhere. You can be writing on our children, we are leaving a footprint on them or what we write on them. It can be writing on our community, it can be writing in as climate change, it can be,
Yeah.
what are we doing for the environment? Like now in the United Kingdom, they're encouraging people, more and more people to cycle
Mhm.
or walk,
Right.
trying to reduce emission in
Yeah.
terms of doing something. So all this is, we are doing it for others. Here they don't encourage people putting on masks, because
Mhm.
to that stop transmission of corona. But they
Yeah.
said if you put on a mask, if you go to a public place, even if you put it on, it's not going to protect you,
Right.
but it's protecting others. You're doing it for others.
That's
There's
right.
no benefit in you putting a mask to yourself,
Hmm.
by you putting it on for the other people
Yeah.
you're going to meet and you're likely to infect in case you have a virus. So doing things for others is very important. That
Hmm.
the little we do every day is going to create a positive change and impact in the long run. Thank you.
That's powerful. Powerful. So selfless service is the road to greatness, and that's all regarding Mother Teresa.
Yes.
That's certainly incredible. I love how you tie that in and tie that even to the people that you have recognized in the World Greatness book. And again, I salute you. I thank you again so much for your time, for sharing with us real talk, real solutions. And this was certainly a great conversation. And I believe that we offered quite a bit of solutions. So to everyone watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing your comments. If you're watching in the preview, please feel free to share any of the takeaways, things that you have gained from this conversation. And please go to ananapfeiffer.com. You can connect with me if you want to learn more about Professor Businge. Please, I can definitely connect you to him and learn more about the World Greatness organization and the university. We would love to make that connection for you and make sure that you discover, you deliver, you develop, and we will certainly celebrate your greatness. I'm signing off. You know, it's Dr. Anana Pfeiffer Darrell Home. You know what I always tell you? Listen, baby, be bold, be you, and be blessed, girl. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for the opportunity and be great. It's okay to be great. Thank you.